Good morning, everybody. It's great seeing you here today. Welcome to today's From Boxes to Butterflies. And we're going to talk about Heal Your Heart and Thrive. I actually have one of the authors from our last book here today. So this is going to be a lot of fun. I want to start with a number of the announcements. I mean, many of you probably already know them, but I want to make sure that number one, we reach out to those around us. Make sure everybody's doing okay. If you know somebody that's gone through some issues, some troubles, maybe some medical problems, um, they've just been having a hard time, and that could have been months ago. But while you were there when it happened, have you checked in on them since then? Just to make sure, how are they doing? What's happening? How's it going? It's always good to have that check, see how they're doing, because a lot of us are so good at wearing a mask, so good at hiding. In this world, we've been taught to wear a mask when we walk out the door. Don't let people see certain aspects, and fear runs all of that. So if you know somebody that's gone through something, even if they look like they're doing great, just check in, see how they're doing. Make sure they are doing okay. That's so important. And it's not only going to make their day, you're going to find it's going to make your day as well. And then there's my dear, 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 dear sister, Dr. Constance Leland with Level Up Academy, one of my sponsors. I absolutely love CJ. The things that she does, we've done a lot of things together. Her vision, she wants to level up the world. She wants to be the Netflix of education. And she is on her way to doing that. It's a beautiful thing. I love it. So as I look at all the different things that CJ is doing, besides the education, and it's a lot of education, but she's doing press releases. She's doing magazines. She's got a live stream, a podcast, 2 TV shows, 2 radio stations every week. And I know I probably haven't even hit the tip of the iceberg of all that she can do. But look at all these industries that she can get into. If you've got something that you are ready to put out in the world and you're not quite sure how to do it, where to go, reach out to CJ. She's the publicity queen. She's got the access. She knows how to write these things for people. I did premium magazines earlier this year because she found a deal. She had a deal going for it. I said, okay, sis, let's do it. And we did it. She got me into 6 premium magazines, 2 of them in Australia. So around the globe, getting you out there. And that's what publicity is all about. Our latest anthology, Rebel with a Cause. It's been out since September, so it's been out about a month and a half now. And an amazing book. We had 20 authors in this book. It was available around the world. It was a #1 international bestseller. Actually, all 3 of our anthologies that we've published have been #1 international bestsellers. We don't promise that they will do that, and they did it. So, rebel. Are you a rebel? Do you feel like you're a rebel? Check out Rebel with a Cause. It's on Amazon. It's both Kindle and book form. And get your copy, look at it, read through these stories, because I think you're going to find that As you read these stories, some of them are going to just jump right out at you, and you're going to go, oh, that's me. That's my situation. This is how they let their rebel come out with a cause. It might give you some ideas on how to get yourself moved from a place where you feel stuck to being the rebel that you really are at your core. Another sponsor, Hounds of Business Community. Mike Ashebrainer is the head of the Hounds, the pack leader, if you will. And when it comes to the Hounds, it is a case of collaboration over competition. And my dear sis CJ talks about this all the time. How much better things are when you do collaboration as opposed to trying to compete all the time. Even somebody that's doing the same thing as you, they're not doing the same as you. They've got a different personality. They have a different audience, a different client base they're looking at. But you're going to find that there are times that you can collaborate, work on stuff, and you can reach more people together and boost each other up. That's what collaboration is all about. Boost everybody up. So check into the Hounds. You can find them on LinkedIn, Hounds of Business Community, Mike Ashebrainer. Go to LinkedIn, check them out. Message Mike, say, I want to know more about this. You can tell him where you found out about it and see what happens. You might find that you are finding a place that you belong. And I want to highlight this event. It's happening on Saturday or Sunday, this Sunday in Del Mar. So it's down by San Diego. So if you're in the Southern Cal area, again, if you're in San Diego, check this out. It's going to be both a fancier type of get together. People are going to be dressing up for it. I know CJ is all excited for this. She can't wait. But it's put on by an organization that is focused on domestic violence. And look at these stats. I mean, if you read this, and some of this stuff we already knew, or maybe not knew specifically, but you kind of knew in the back of your head what was going on. The fact that the prevalence is 1 in 4 women and 1 in 9 men experience severe violence. Domestic violence is something that we really need to find a way to put an end to. And that's what this event is for. It's to raise money because it takes about $10,000 to relocate a mom, her kids, a dad, his kids, to someplace that's safe, someplace that they can get out of that violence and bad situation. So I love this cause. And in fact, I'm letting you guys know this is the organization that CJ and I, we like to give back. So CJ's first book, Beyond Boundaries, that planted trees in Madagascar. Then for Moving Beyond Boxes, that planted trees in Honduras. And both of those, it's through the same organization, different places, but it's creating jobs, it's helping the environment. I think between them, we're hitting like 5 of the sustainability goals from the UN. So we love this. And then Rebel with a Cause, that's focusing on mental health. And then this particular organization, check them out. It's going to be a great event. But when I talk about Against the Grain, the anthology that we are working on right now that is coming out, Authors Call is this month. Scan the QR code for more information. Come join us. The proceeds from this book are going to go to domestic violence to try and to help reduce. So again, there's the 3 books on the side that we've published. All of them are #1 international bestsellers. This one, right now, we have our authors call where authors are signing up. We're having a blast with who's coming in. It's gonna be an amazing group. So if you've got the itch and you want to write, but you're not sure about it, check us out. CJ and I, we love working with the authors, and everything is CJ and I. So we do all the editing, the publishing, the marketing. We're there for you the whole way. There's nobody else. There's no middle person between the authors and us. It's a team. We work together. It's collaboration. So check us out. Hey, everybody. That's lots of fun announcements. But now I'm going to bring up my special guest today. Morning.
Good morning, Susanna. I'm so happy and grateful for this opportunity to be interviewed by you. Thank
Oh,
you.
I'm excited to have you on. And we first met going into the last anthology, into Rebel with a Cause. Because I remember when you came in, we'd actually already started stuff, and you and I had a phone conversation just to help you kind of get direction. It's like it's not as bad as you might think, and you've got a great chapter in that book. I'm so happy that you're a part of it. Um, what I want to do now, though, just to kind of start, is tell everybody a little bit about you. And I know it's an amazing story. There's so much to it, but just take a few minutes to just kind of go over what you want to make sure it gets out there. Because what you do and the way you talk with people is is actually amazing to me. The way you can calm others down as well. I love it. So I'm gonna leave it to you.
Thank you. First of all, I want to make sure the mic is it
You're
clear.
good. You're good.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, thank you, Susanna. I'm grateful to be here. I guess the book started, so I joined really late, within 10 days or so before the book published, less than 2 weeks, I know. So anyway, I saw everybody was ahead of me, so I just typed in the group chat. I said I need support because sometimes when I read it, it didn't make sense. But when I listen to somebody's voice, I understand because for some reason I have separation of looking at thing and hearing a thing as two different things.
Well, CJ would say it's how you learn.
How I learn is more visual and auditory have to be combined. But
Right.
if I look at the thing just by itself, it's separation. I don't understand. So what happened
Yep.
was I'm so grateful that Susanna, reply. And then we go on a conversation. It seemed like forever. I'm grateful for that conversation. It calmed me down because I have bad experience in the past, and it seemed like the moment we jumped on the car with Susanna, I felt like, oh, this is my soul sister. We met to be together, and we talked for hours. Our
We did.
past, our past was so parallel in a lot of way. So I'm so grateful for have my back. That call actually is start a positive journey, uh, publish, this chapter of mine in this revel with a cause. So thank you.
it was I loved having you and that conversation because I know we went everywhere on a Saturday night.
Yes, we did. We did. It was magical in the deep connection, soul connection that we have. Even though we have not chatted for a while, being here with you again, it feels like there's no time um,
Right.
separation. It's still there's a deep connection still.
So what is a little bit about your story in terms of because you came from overseas, you have a lot in your background, and then it's, if I remember right, it all leads, all that background, everything you've been through leads into what you're doing now.
Yes, yes. So I'm grateful this book, everything you and CJ doing, the it going to good cause. So for me, the background is more like generational curses, generational domestic violence, because for my heritage, I guess, let me introduce myself before I go there. As a master heart healer for 31 and a half years, I help many, many thousands of my clients, both men and women, to heal their heart in relationship. First and foremost, relationship with themselves, and then relationship with their partner, husband, wife, and also family heritage. Because I noticed the moment that I help them clear the generational curse of not deserving love, respect, and honor, it carry on. The moment we cleared out that baggage, that heart heal, now they show up as a powerful creator instead of being a victim. So that pretty much what I do. Right now I'm taking the niche to help people to heal their relationship with money. So my gift is knowing the heart of the problem. I go in there, I help them heal and transform their life, somewhat permanent shift. So anyway, let's go to my background because I was born and raised in Vietnam. And in our culture, it's okay to be discipline a child with physical abuse, verbal abuse, all kind of abuse, you named it. Because when a mom really beat up a child, nobody get involved. I mean, even the father. Sometimes they encourage, yeah, beat her up more so she can be a good person. So I was very, very confused. However, immigrate to America, I passed forward. I was in an extremely abusive relationship. It's almost cost my life. So when the book, when we were talking about CJ from my past negative experience about publishing, and then CJ and I would jump on a car and we were talking. And when I heard the title of the book, Rebel with a Cause, I said, I am a rebel. I want to be on this in this book. And since the time is very, very short, CJ want to sure that I can show up and complete my chapter. I said, you know what? My book, I pay 30,000 plus US dollar, and it had not been done. It's still in the back burner. So it was a negative experience in the past. But when I talked to CJ and I heard the title of the book, I said, I need to step up to share this experience I have in terms of being in an abusive relationship, how I get myself out and be able, as a divorced mom, I raised three healthy, happy, successful young adult that I'm proud of. So anyhow, that my journey in a short nutshell. that I can answer for now. As you have more questions for me, I will unpack more. Thank you, Susanna.
Oh, hey, it's what what I love about. Um, I'm not as structured as some people because I like to just let it go. And if you've got stuff that you want to just pop in, please do so. If you think of something you want to make sure gets tossed out there, just go for it. This,
Yes.
this is that chance for people to get to know you. And you've talked about that background a little bit. It sounds like in some ways the heritage of what you said happened in childhood carried over even after you got here, because you talked about
Yes.
your first marriage. So what happened? What happened to the way I kind of like to view it, to create the awareness that you could make that change? When I talk about move beyond boxes, you moved out of a box of a cultural norm. It feels like you had to have gotten an awareness that said, okay, I'm done with this, I'm making a change, and you left the box of a cultural norm to be your authentic self. So how did that go? What was that process like?
Yeah. Let me share a short dramatic experience that changed the trajectory of my life. See, because of the abuse it in my cultural norm, it's accepted. So because I call it generational, because you see my grandparents, great grandparents, that's how they discipline their children. It's acceptable. So anyway, I came to America and married somebody who done the same thing to me. So anyway, let me share this dramatic experience before I
Mhm.
shift. So in the summer of 93, that I've been held hostage under the pillow. I was suffocated. I cannot breathe. My body was frozen, even though I want to move. But the force on top of me was so strong, like a boulder on top of me. And on top of that pillow, I believe there's an object. It couldn't be a gun, but it was so dark I cannot see. So anyway, at that moment, life and death situation, and I said, God, is this my last breath? This is it. I'm gonna die. And the thought was, I'm still responsible to my three children who was little at that time. And I said, no, God, it's not my time to go yet. Whatever you need to do, I need to live to look after my children. Imagine in the midnight, my daughter just walked out. She was half sleeping and half wobbling, and she saw the incidents. Her dad was suffocate me under the pillow. She was yelling, "Daddy, Daddy, Daddy, what are you doing?" And then suddenly her dad snapped out of his rage, and he just got up and disappeared into the darkness. And she just rushed over, hugging me, rescuing me, and we hugged each other and cried. That was the severe incident of being married to someone. I call him 30 plus years ago. I call him a husband. That's how he treated me. So from that incident, I decided I no longer tolerate this form of abuse. So by me making that powerful choice, I bring the awareness. This happened, in my past, how my family treated me, how society treating, their children, their loved one. So with that, I went to get help. So I hired a coach, a healer. I also went to Robert Brennan School of Healing in the later years. So that's how I got myself out of being that victim identity, to get out of that generational curses. It's okay to beat up their loved one in the name of discipline. So as I heal my own heart, that's how I developed this 7 step heart awakening process to help others heal. So that was my journey. There's more to it, but this story is the changing,
Right.
changing in terms of heal that generational curses within my family, within, my relationship. Now I'm really proud as a divorced mom. Imagine my children now only, they are young, 36, 38, and 40, three of them. They they live in Denver, they live in Washington State. They own 5 houses that they invest in real estate. And also my son who graduated from West Point as an officer, he's still serving in the army. So right now he's deployed in the Philippines. I'm planning to see him some early next year. So that to share with you. For some of you might be stuck in the domestic violence. I want you to know you have the power to change that generational curse to have better future for yourself and for your children. I share this to inspire you, not to boast about my children, about my life. Right now, my life is very magical. To be here with Susanna, to know CJ, and to know a lot of big influencer, I live my dream. So I'm so grateful for however long I live. I have the time freedom, location freedom to serve my clients. Thank you, Susanna.
The story and just that moment of awareness. And I feel like I see a whole lot of aspects to that one moment of what happened. Because I can't remember if you told me that story before or if you'd written it within, because I know I'm familiar with the story. But just hearing it this time around, it's like I'm seeing a few different things that are a part of it. But to me, one of the biggest things is when you say that it's almost like you were you were at a point where you almost accepted the end, but then something just took over. It's like, no, the kids, and that was your ignition. That was when your awareness was ignited, is what I feel.
Yes,
That
yes,
moment, that's when your awareness was ignited, and then your whole thought process is on how you're going to get out of it.
yes, yes, yes. The children motivation to live for them is so strong. Within my life, if I die at that moment, it's okay because the suffering was unbearable. The
Right.
suffering was so unbearable. Actually, I wish I die because I every day imagine with 2 dogs I'm responsible for, 3 little ones, and also a dying brother. And I work full time and mistreated husband. Imagine that situation. How would you handle that at that time? But because the willingness to take full responsibility to raise a 3 kids, to grow into adulthood, to be, you know, useful to themselves and to the society. Because the actually this is the fire that ignites within my soul. See, when I was thinking, I'm still responsible for this 3 little soul that I birthed into this world. I said, I cannot really bear to live with myself. It's funny because the thought, if their father remarried and they live with a mean, mean stepmother, I cannot live with myself. It was so funny to have that thought at that moment. That's where the fire ignited. So I decided that the shifting right there, I become a lioness to do whatever it it take to get out from this situation. And I decided, I deserve to be treated with love, respect, and honor. So are my children. If I didn't get out from this toxic relationship at that time, my children will continue this pattern of generational curses and abuse. So anyway, because I make that choice, I broke out of the boxes. Just be the rebel that I am. And everything shifted. That's how my children have their, beautiful relationship, healthy, happy, successful young adult. I'm proud of. And besides, I'm proud of my five grandchildren because they still pure within their heart. They still have powerful wisdom from within. So I look at my five grandchildren as my teacher.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
It's a two-way street, but another thing about it is when you made that decision, when your awareness was ignited, it's like, this is what I'm going to do, that you may be thinking about your kids at that moment, yet it also went to the next generation. So yes, I love how you talk about that generational aspect.
Yes.
And here's a story where your decision at that moment affects not just you, but the next two generations
Yes. Yes.
and more.
Yes. Actually, it more. Let me add more wisdom to it. When you decided to break that generational curses, break out the boxes of your ancestor blueprint, you actually heal 14 generations. You heal your ancestors 7 generations in the past. You also heal the future 7 generations, so that 14 generation will be liberated because the choice that you make to no longer be a victim, you're going to create the powerful future that you and your children deserved.
Okay, so where does the generational thing come from? And the reason I ask is I I in college when I was doing my international management degree, I was doing a project with my class. It was a project with Nike and the Iroquois Nationals lacrosse team. And the Iroquois Nationals, the Iroquois, they talk about the 7 generations. And I'm listening, so it's like I'm part of me is trying to dust the cobwebs off of what that 7 generations was, because I can't remember if it was all forward or if it was kind of a 3-3 and then you're the one in the middle. But when you talk about the 14 generations, I'm just kind of curious where that comes from, because I have one reference for the 7. Now I'm curious for the 14 where some of the places might be that this comes from.
Yes, so the source, it can be because as I evolve within my soul evolutions, it can be channeling from my teacher. It the source, it channeling from my teacher or from somewhere I forgot. I pick it up along the way. I'll do
Right.
more research and explore that for all of us here. I pick it up along the way as I become, you know, the master heart healer I am today. So I forgot where the reference come from. However, I will do research around that and get back to you, Susanna.
Yeah, because I I'm seeing some connections between these, and it could be one of these cases where they're totally not related, and yet they feel like they're related. So, and how many times you can say maybe a tribe in Africa did something that a tribe in South America did, and they would have never seen each other, but they did something similar. So that's kind of where I'm kind of like, I
Yeah,
wonder.
actually, it can come from the Native American tradition. Do
Yeah.
not quote me on that. I
No,
will do
no, no.
research. Yeah, yeah.
I'm not quoting anything. It's like it's one of those things that's why it's fun with these because you never know where the one-offs are going to come from, or you never know what's going to just jog your memory from something over a decade, 15 plus years ago. It's like, oh, wait a minute, I totally forgot about that. But now, how does that fit the conversation? So, with that, I want to I want you to talk a little bit about what it is that you are doing right now. You touched on it, but for everybody that's listening in and those who are going to watch the replays, what what are you doing? What is Heal Your Heart and Thrive? What's the approach to it? Because I know there's a number of things. I think you do breathing and meditation and a number of other things, right?
Yes, yes. So it sometimes people trying to put me in a box and trying to describe what methodology that I'm doing. It's more like Kim methods. It's more like psychic heart surgery. So the difference between other people techniques and mine, when I look into someone's heart, I tap into their energy blueprint, and beside my spirit guide is present, and I can internally have a conversation with them even though I don't tell my client what's going on. So I see the heart of the problems. I see the heart of the problem. When I ask the right question, I take my client deep into that generational curses. The moment, the challenge here is to really tactfully to have the client own that pattern, that curses. Let me give the example. I might share the testimonial later so you all can understand the depth of my gift. So anyway, I was at the retreat here. It called Multiversity in Scott Valley, California. So it was about 100 us women gathered together for the business retreat, and I graced a handful of my classmates. Some of them, they cannot really speak because of generational curses and past life trauma, that I see the energetic band that cut the throat chakra. That's why the energy it kind of stuck. It didn't come out well. So this individual cannot walk for 9.5 years. Her name is Akila Davis. She gave me permission to share the story. So I didn't know the history, how long she been wobbly like a drunken person, because when she cannot stand up, she will fall backward like somebody pulling her back. She cannot move forward. So she looked at me because her friend said, "You must talk to Kim Lee." She didn't know what I look like, but I look Chinese, right? I am Chinese, born in Vietnam. So when we were in class, she looked at me really determination with fierce. She said, "Are you Kim Lee?" I say, "Yes." "You must heal me." I said, "No problems." So anyhow, within 20 minutes break, she cannot move. So I corner her in the room. I mean, in that room, it was so noisy. So within that 20 minutes, when she told me her challenge was she cannot walk, "You must help me walk because otherwise I cannot fly home to Canada." I just, whatever she said, it's irrelevant to me. I just stay centered. So as she was sharing, I hear my spirit guide said she had break her agreement with her ancestor because her heritage is from India, even though she live in Canada. I don't know whether she born there or say immigrate there, I have no idea. In her family lineage, the woman must be submissive. They have to be quiet. They cannot speak up for themselves. They need to give that power away to their loved one, husband, children, in service. So when I heard that, I said, you know what? May I speak true to you? She said, sure, you can say anything. Is it true that the woman in your family didn't have a voice? You all need to be quiet. She said, oh my God, how the heck do you know? I said, well, I just heard that from my spirit guides. So she validated its truth. By the way, my mom told me to all my young adult life, be quiet, be quiet, be quiet. Since she's an entrepreneur, we need to be seen, heard, and be visible in order to grow our business, right? So she violated that agreement with her ancestor. So she have the like a hairball energetic entanglement in her heart. The moment she validate that, so the information, see the heart of the problem, I see it. She owned it now. I said, are you ready to let it go? She said, yes. So boom, with my process, we clear that. Her heart awakening, she feel lightness within her heart. Before I close a session within 15, 20 minutes, she said, I feel much better. Can I stand up and walk now? I said, no, give me 5 minutes. Even though you feel better, let me seal this session so it will be permanent. The moment I complete that, she stand up tall, she walking. It's been 5.5 years, there's no relapse. That woman healed. So that is the way that my process. So when I see that, I can use light language, I can use sound, I make sound, or I can use a crystal singing bowl or Tibetan bowl. It's just to walk the client back to be their own powerful healer. So I'm more like a spiritual midwife to help them to birth their new divine identity, that when they can heal and prosper. So for your question, what I'm doing now, I took on the niche. This is a special niche to help people heal the heart in relationship with money. If we look globally, collectively, people fight word here and there because power hunger, and money represent power. So if we handle money with love, with respect, with joy, with appreciation, I believe it will heal our family. We heal globally when we understand the concept of we are one, the universe is abundance, because it doesn't matter we have little money, a lot of money, billion, trillionaire. When we die, we bring nothing with us. The thing we brought with us is the true, authentic love, connection, the friendship that we have. That is our true wealth we take to heaven with us. Because my son Daniel, he's a major now, he's ranked in the army. He taught me that when he was little. Mom, remember this. All the material wealth that you have, you cannot bring with you. The relationship, the people you met along your journey, you take that with you in heaven, but not the material wealth, Mom. So when we realize that, when our heart heals, we only have love, respect, honor, collaboration, and oneness, because we are one. We didn't have the mean to hurt each other. So anyway, it's kind of a long story. Thank you very much, Susanna, for that questions.
Oh no, it was. I don't even feel like it was a long story because there's so much to it, and it's all one. It's part of what you're doing, and two, that story really opens up to see that some of the things that you're doing and how you help somebody and what you're seeing. It's It's another story you need to write down.
I have a lot of story. I have a lot of story.
I know,
Thank you. Thank you, Susanna.
because it is, there's so much to it. Um, but as you're doing this, so you've talked about how you're essentially talking with people, and your spirit guide is helping to see what's going on. What else do you do? Because I feel like there's more than just that. When you've kind of focused on that, but
Yeah.
you've been on some shows with CJ, and I think you've done some other things with her, right?
Yes, yes. So there's a lot because see, I am so connect with source. It's just like in the present, in my present here and now. I access a lot of information. So if you dive deep into the energetic aspect of it, we all carry code, divine code, a distortion code. So when I hear somebody's voice with the story they project, I can tap into the code that's missing for them to be healthy, for them to be successful, or for them to have healthy, happy relationship. I can tap into that code and be able to give the example of that code in the frequency that I'm holding. So for instance, see my energy just shift just right here, right now, because I want to demonstrate the point. See, Kim, the friend, it have different tones. Kim, the healer, have different tones. Because when I step into this energy of healership, the voice you hear now at this moment, there's no emotional attached to it. It's called the divine masculine energy. There's only firmness. It's more like that. I use the word psychic heart surgery. She will step into the space and facilitate whatever she needs. Because our in each other we share the stories. Because within the universal truth, spiritual truth, we cannot speak in terms of direct English language to tell you. We cannot unpack the wisdom of truth in the stories. So each one of us depends on our level of awareness, of consciousness that will take the medicine, the wisdom from it. So in the storytelling, we unpack the true wisdom that carry from within. So the moment if we convey it in human language, the ego will take that to sabotage it. It's no longer truth. So that's why each one of us, when we hear the story, we take the perfect wisdom medicine for us at the moment as we need it. So thank you, Susanna, for that question again.
Oh, yeah, and it sounds like there's so much to it, and you really are multidimensional in so many ways. You can talk about niching, but I just feel like there are so many different things that you're doing and that you can do. Um, and how do you, unless somebody says this is what they're looking for, maybe they want breathing, maybe they want help walking, or um, do you ever have a situation where you start talking with somebody and you kind of know something's going to happen, but they don't really know what's going to happen, and you you're kind of the guide of what's going to happen?
Yes, yes, yes. Normally, I see a lot, I hear a lot. However, I need to respect my gift. Without permission, I cannot override anything because God is in charge.
Hmm.
And by hold this medicine of grace. So to answer your question, I'm going to share this testimony this story. I make agreement with myself not to be a psychic reader. Um, I can access information, but I choose to be present, to look deep into that soul to help them heal. Because when you receive the psychic information, you believe that you make it your reality, whether negative or positive. Most often, they share negative more than the positive one. So the story was one of my friend, Tisha. I have permission to share this. So Tisha posting a picture of her with a gigantic bandage around her head, and she was irritated in the post. I can read the energy. She said, "This is ridiculous. I hit my head a month ago. It's almost healed, and now I hit my head again. The same injury in her head." So when I look at that post, I can hear my spirit guide tap on my shoulder. "Kim, you need to reach out to Tisha and to bless her because her ancestor come for her." So that was really intense message. What they said is she gonna her well, pretty much in short, she gonna die. And I received that wisdom. I didn't know what to do with it because I never received the wisdom like very strong and very direct like that. I prayed. I said, what the heck? I'm gonna deliver that. So I said, "Tisha, please reach out to me. I want to bless you." And I prayed the moment I received that message. I pray every day because you don't tell somebody that way, it might end the friendship. So I prayed, I prayed. She booked an appointment. I believe it could be Saturday or Sunday. When we come to the session, she told me, I have this. As she told me, I accessed a lot of information. And I prayed, and she told me, what happened, and she upset because she was about to make a sale of the piece of art that she makes. She's an artist and also retired IN nurse. And the transaction has almost took place, and she walked upstairs, and somebody have a cup of water or can. She tripped over that, she fell, and the transaction didn't complete. She still have the piece of art, but she injured herself. And then she was telling me that, and I said, "Tisha, please forgive me for what I am about to tell you, why I want to give you this healing session since we were friends for a long time. Kim, you can tell me anything." So with that permission, I said, "Please forgive me. The reason I reach out to you because my spirit guide said that your ancestor come for you." And she was yelling, screaming. I said, "Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God." I said, "What happened? Tell me more." "I just saw my parents, my deceased parents, my brother, and my cousin. They came in my dream last night. They said, 'Tisha, it's time for you to go. We are here to take you home.'" Her conscious awareness was still awake. She said, "No way. I'm not going home. You all get out of my house." Imagine, she opened her eyes and four light being is still glowing in the empty world in front of her eyes. So that was, to me, I would give credit to our creator, to my spirit team, because I would not access that information. And since he validated that, there's some truth to it. And I hear another wisdom that they said that her family blueprint, her family lineage curses people go home in their 70. And I said, "Is it true, Tisha? Your family member normally go to heaven, in their 70. It took her a split second. She said, "Yes and no, Kim. Yes, the men in my family die in their 70. However, I'm a woman. The woman in my family will live to the 90s. So the the mismatched information now. I need to validate that. So I asked my guy why the information is not accurate. It misinformation. Says that even though Tisha wear this female body, she carried the male blueprint. It exactly described Tisha. So I said, well, this is what I heard is the truth. She said, yes. So now the information is accurate. I asked her, are you ready to give up this blueprint? You can go home however long that you choose. You decide. So we changed the trajectory of her future. That was probably 4 years ago. And now she's thriving at 70, could be 79 now.
Wow.
Yeah. So it to me it's a joy to be able to hold the medicine. It's not like everybody will be healed because if they don't come with conviction,
Right.
if they carry the doubt with them and want testing me out, that will not happen because the ego involved.
Yeah, and I get that on the testing because it depends on what they've come through, what how they grew up, how they're going to view things, and and then it's like, okay, this is what I believe, and you're telling me something that's different. How can they even come into it with an open mind, open heart, if it's like, this is what I would taught, I can't change it, this is what it is. So it's like, I'm curious, but I'm not giving up.
Yeah. So it I think to hold this gift, all of us have gift. As we hold the gift, we are responsible to share the gift with others. So I'm not sure however long I live, but this is my soul song. I sing it to my last breath
Hmm.
because love, light, truth are one. Love, light, and truth are one. Everything we experience, the challenge, the betrayal, everything it to the soul is an illusion. Our soul create this negative experience based upon human judgment. But we as a soul before we born, we choose this so we can learn, we can grow, we can evolve. Without suffering, humanity seem not to learn, will be stagnant. So a part of our soul evolution. So within, spirit, within the higher dimension, they never really look at, right and wrong. We look at, you know, it just that soul need to go through that in order to grow into the maturity to heal that generational curses.
Right. Oh, man, time goes by so fast. Because we're coming up to the end of everything with the top of the hour here. But before we go, because I loved everything you've talked about, it's so many nuggets already. And for people, just think about themselves, how to approach and have that open mind. So
Be,
go ahead.
just be curious. Be curious. We facilitate the forgiveness room, and that's the first time we have conflicts in our room. And I notice as the leader, facilitator in that room, I have to take charge. I guess that's the first time I step up with tough love to have this individual not to look at this person. I like this person, energy and wisdom. I don't like that individual wisdom because he, whatever that happening. Because when we use a language of right and wrong, we already step into the duality instead of wholeness. So that's something that we need to come with that curiosity of mine. I don't know what it is, but I give myself the experience of step into the unknown and trusting that our creator have our back. So
Mhm.
let's closing with this quote. See, you probably heard this before. Everything that we want is on the other side of our judgment, on the other side of fear, doubt, and distrust. We must to walk to the bridge of faith in order to get that. See, everything that we judge, that is the limitation, the blockage holding us back not to live our true potential.
And it's like you say judge right there, and it takes me right back to Bible verses of judge not lest ye be judged in the same way. It's like, yeah, we don't need to judge. See what's going on, make a decision. But judging, that's the one that's really hard to deal with. When people are just they want to judge you for whatever. And it's like just be go into your corner and be yourself. It's great. And I love that pearl there right at the end. Make sure to let everybody know how to find you.
All right. Thank you. You can look me up with the handle at Kim Lee with one E, Kim Lee Healer, or you can look at my name on the screen, kimleehealer.com. You can find my funnel. It's not full website, but you can check it there. You can find me social media on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn. Well, TikTok I play, but we have TikTok and we also have YouTube. I didn't put a lot of energy into it, but yes, I do have. These are you can look me up there. Yes.
Awesome. Great. And I know you've got to get going. And for everybody else, I will see you next week. I have another author from Rebel coming in next week. It's going to be fun. I got Lisa Fevick supposed to be here. So it's going to be a fun time.
Yeah,
I
actually,
will,
let me closing this. I just want to thank you,
yeah,
Susanna and CJ, for a phenomenal positive experience in the anthology of Rebel with a Cause. So for some of you who looking to put your name in the book, I encourage you. Susanna and CJ are the best so far in my publishing journey, because imagine to really spend more than 30,000 US dollar and my book actually is not done. So that I want you to really make time to talk to Susanna and CJ and how they can support you to have your name out there. I want a closing with that. Thank you,
thank you so
Susanna.
much. Thank you so much. And with that, I will end it and I will see everybody next week. Have a great day.
Thank you, Susanna.